You dug into your garden bed and found almost no worms. Or you just took over a raised bed that was grown conventionally for years and you are not sure what chemicals might be in the soil. Both situations feel like bad news. Neither one is. They are both messages, and they both have the same solution. Stacey Murphy explains exactly what the absence of worms tells you and what to do when the bed you are inheriting was not grown organically.
It's a good idea to bury it 12 inches down because if you don't bury it, animals can get to it. Stuart, it sounds like he might be doing some trench composting. So basically you can dig a trench and bury your compost in there, cover it up with straw, and you'll get a lot of earthworms.
For more information, free resources, and gentle guidance, you can find us at growyourownvegetables.org. And to grow alongside other gardeners just like you, join our free community at gyov.org. These two Q&A clips were recorded at past Grow Your Own Vegetables events, where Stacey Murphy explains what no worms means and exactly what to do with a conventionally grown bed you have just inherited.
Kailash is saying, we've been preparing our beds in the new area, dug over the soil, we found one worm in the entire 10 meters, not a good sign. Okay, cool. And she says they're becoming gardening fanatics. That's awesome. Taking temperatures of the compost every day. Super cool. Okay, let's talk about the worms just for a moment. So when you're digging for worms and you're identifying, how many worms you have as a sign of how healthy your soil is, worms are one thing. And not everyone is going to have worms if they have particular types of soil. And also if your soil temperatures are not in the right temperature range, you won't see the worms present. They'll dig deeper. So, here in San Diego right now, it's hot and our soil temperatures are hot all the time. The worms have gone deep down. And the other thing that might be the reason why you don't have, and I know you're in Switzerland, so temperature is you're probably in the right temperature range. The other reason why you might not see any earthworms is there might not be any food for them. So earthworms, they like to eat organic matter, and so the number of worms present is a sign of how much organic matter is present. And so you might need to increase the amount of organic matter.
The worm count is a soil test. It is telling you exactly what is missing. If you are in summer heat, wait. If it is not heat, feed the soil and the worms will come.
Maybe some, what I like to do is a lot of times with my compost bin is when I get the compost and it's mostly composted, but it's still kind of chunky and it smells good, I basically I bury that in the garden because what I know is that that's the stage that the earthworms love. So then I bury that in the garden, and that's how I draw the earthworms in. And if you are starting Hugelkultur beds, that will be another way to really invite worms in because you'll have all those logs decaying over time. It's a good idea to bury it 12 inches down because if you don't bury it, animals can get to it. Stuart, it sounds like he might be doing some trench composting. So basically you can dig a trench and bury your compost in there, cover it up with straw, and you'll get a lot of earthworms.
Do not wait for worms to arrive on their own. Give them a reason to come. Bury the food 12 inches deep enough that animals cannot get to it. The worms will find it.
So that might be the comment that Stuart is adding here. So for Kailash, I'll tag Kailash for this timestamp as well. So Kailash, if you're looking to increase your number of earthworms, trench composting is another way to really get a lot of compost, which would be, like I said, I was burying my compost that was already somewhat broken down, but you can actually bury food scraps if you're not getting animals. But it sounds like you're getting animals, so I would be careful about trench composting for you. For people who are in the cities, oftentimes we can trench compost because the animals aren't present. But if you're getting animals that are digging things up, you don't want to bury your fresh food scraps because that's just a way to get more of those critters.
No worms and chemical contamination in an inherited bed are two different problems. They share the same solution. Build soil biology aggressively. Here's what to do when the bed you are inheriting was grown conventionally.
So Melissa said she's taking over someone else's raised veggie bed. They probably were doing things conventionally. Do you recommend leaving in root veggies and other plants, etc., that have been left in there from last year, or pulling all the material out when starting fresh? I can see that they're carrots, beets, etc. I never got that large. Also some asparagus. That appears haphazard. I prefer to redo a separate bed of asparagus. Just not sure which is best as far as aeration and decomposition goes, but also in reducing any unwanted chemicals that may be there. Yeah, so this is up to you. The good news is that for the most part, things like carrots and beets, they're not necessarily sprayed with a whole lot of things. But if there's anything in the soil, because they're root vegetables, it's possible that they're, in that soil with all of the other, maybe anything that has been herbicides that have been sprayed into the soil can get pulled up into those roots. So it's up to you to decide if you want to eat those or not. You could totally eat them if you feel like you want to trust them at all. And sometimes what happens is they get planted late in the season and then they don't grow in fully. If you want to plant a separate bed of asparagus, I would recommend it.
This is genuinely reassuring. Chemical contamination is not permanent. Time and biology work together to reduce it. Start building the soil food web now, and the bed will recover.
I would recommend it. Asparagus really likes to be densely planted. It likes very loose soil, and oftentimes, if it's kind of haphazard, it's a sign that it didn't grow in well because of the soil conditions. Maybe there's too many weeds. So maybe you want to, find an area that's better suited for that asparagus and start again. And you want to make sure that your asparagus is separate from your annual crops, because asparagus really likes to be by itself. You don't want to intercrop asparagus. So definitely create a space for your asparagus. And with regard to the rest, we talked a little bit about this. The chemicals and pesticides, they can break down over time and dissipate. So if it's rained a lot, or you've had a winter where there was snow and then it melted, a large percentage of those things have washed down and they're now in the groundwater below your garden. So oftentimes a lot of that stuff dissipates really quickly. So just start doing organic practices.
This is the most important practical note in this entire video. The compost is not a way to neutralize contaminated plants. It concentrates them and returns them to your soil. Throw them out.
And this is what I said last week to Robin. If you have an area where you're worried about runoff, like let's say there's a hill and you're worried about herbicide runoffs from a neighboring lawn, or in your lawn you're growing vegetables below where a lot of herbicides were sprayed, then you might want to try to filter some of those with some different plants. And
this clears up one of the most common areas of confusion in organic gardening. The seed is not the issue. The chemical spray program around GMO crops is the issue. In your own garden, you control what you spray, so the seed question is largely resolved by growing from non-GMO varieties. Think about where you were at the start of this video. No worms, a bed with a conventional history, both feeling like problems without solutions. Now look at what you know. No worms in summer heat? They went deep. They will return. No worms in the right temperature? No organic matter. Bury chunky, half-composted material 12 inches deep. Trench compost, Hugelkultur. Give them food, and they will come. Inherited conventional bed? The chemicals are already dissipating. Build soil biology aggressively. Add worm castings. Do not compost the old plants. Throw them out. Give the bed 3 seasons, and it recovers. 2 different problems, 1 solution. Build the soil biology, and the rest follows. You are not the gardener who panics at an empty soil test anymore. You are the one who reads the signal, who buries the compost 12 inches deep, who throws out the conventional plants instead of composting them, who builds the soil biology and lets time do the rest. If you want to keep learning from Stacey Murphy, there is a whole community of gardeners growing extraordinary food, completely free, at growyourownvegetables.org. This Q&A was recorded at a past Grow Your Own Vegetables event, and what Stacey just shared with you took her years of growing, failing, and figuring out to discover. Now imagine sitting down with 15 experts exactly like her. 15 of the most respected gardeners, herbalists, and soil scientists on the planet, each sharing the single most powerful lesson they know, the insight that changed everything about how they grow food, the thing they wish someone had told them at the beginning. Clinical herbalists who can turn your garden into a medicine cabinet, soil scientists who will change how you see every handful of dirt, food growers who have fed entire communities from a backyard. All of it waiting for you right now, completely free at the Superfood Garden Summit. Go to growyourownvegetables.org/summit, register in 30 seconds, and start watching immediately.